Welcome to the Jemma Show, featuring my co-host Ben.
No! Careful my headband. I don't know anything about ASAP Rocky. Who is he? A businessman?
So, welcome to the
Jemma Show.
With my co-host Ben.
It's making fucking rainy outside. Wait, what?
Welcome to the Jemma Show, featuring my co-host Ben.
Go!
So in today's show, our three main topics are going to be
BJ. BJ?
Our international news is going to be about the Texas shooting, and we're going to be mainly looking at Trump's speech that he did. And then our national news is going to be
BJ.
Which is short for...
Bloke.
Our entertainment news is going to be about ASAP Rocky and how he's been found guilty for the assault in Sweden. So
Cool.
Yeah. Our international news today is going to be about the Texas shooting. Heard of it?
Yeah.
There was these two shootings that took place, and I think one of the guys in Texas, 22 people were dead, and then there was another one in Ohio.
Ohio. That's so hard to pronounce.
Ohio.
Ohio. Ohio. Oh, hi. Oh. Oh, hi.
Oh. Another shooting that took place on Sunday morning, which killed 9 people, including his sister.
He shot his sister?
Yeah, he shot his sister, this guy. But can we just, before we even go into this, they were not Muslim, they were not Asian, they were white. You know, they're normally labelled as... You know, white people who commit mass murders in America aren't labelled as terrorists. They're labelled as mentally unstable people. But then people who are Asian that mass murder are labelled terrorists automatically. So, just a little food for thought. Then obviously Donald Trump had to step up and give a little speech. And I looked through his speech.
Huh.
Oh yeah, because you're a Donald Trump fan, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like about him so much?
Just everything. Everything. He's got great hair, for example. He's got a peachy bum. No, he got one. I just like him. He's got balls, man.
I thought his speech, I don't really rate him, but I don't really know much about him, apart from, like, people feel like he's racist, but I don't think he is racist, because I once saw that he did a speech on, like, something that happened, and he was saying, like, how he doesn't have any hate towards Muslims. I think people just don't actually look into things into context, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
People just assume, but, like, you need to actually do your research and understand what he's trying to say, because he was doing this really nice speech once.
Oh, so you like Trump?
Yeah, I think he's not a bad person,
nice.
you know?
Yeah.
Unless, like, anyone can, like, state otherwise from what I've learned. So then I looked at his speech, and these were some of the things that he said.
Right.
Stop glorification of violence in our society, such as video games. What do you think about that statement in terms of America, in terms of gun crime?
What? It's not so much the video games, but it's the parents that buy the video games.
So do you think that would be a big, like, thing to kind of put in place?
Yeah. No, I think... Look, my cousin is 12 years old, for example, but he's allowed to play Grand Theft Auto. It's not because he's gone out and he's bought Grand Theft Auto, it's because he's asked for it, and the parents have made the conscious decision to go out and get a fucking video game, which is restricted, you know, for only over 18-year-olds.
I get what you mean by it's the parents' fault, but then again, it's not, because it depends how much you consume the video games. Like, if you're consuming it 24/7 and, like, completely getting, like, enticed into it and thinking that you're the fucking character, then obviously that's a problem. But then if someone plays it like 2-3 hours and then has a break, chills, goes plays football and then comes back into his room and plays, like, it's really not that deep.
Also, video games, it's always stereotypical, like baddies.
Yeah.
It will always be like you know, I am conservative, I'm politically incorrect. But there are some things that I will, you know, agree on. And it's the fact that most, you know, baddies or villains are portrayed as either Russians or, Muslim terrorists.
Or black, for sure.
Black? Grand Theft Auto, I guess, like, gangs and stuff like that, Hispanic.
Never white.
So, yeah.
And then another statement he made was, reform our mental health laws, mental health and hatred, pulls the trigger, not the gun.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a gun problem, it's a people problem. Anything that's going to make it much harder for people to obtain guns in America is obviously a good thing. I stand to reason that, you know, it's a people problem. It's not a gun problem. I mean, yeah, if you've got mentally ill people running around with guns, and of course something's going to happen.
They would even do it with, if there was not guns, they would do it with knives.
Well, yeah, there are illegal ways of obtaining guns or weapons. Just like drugs. Drugs are illegal in this country, but still got drug problems, haven't we?
So then another couple of statements that he made was those who pose a grave risk to public safety
yeah.
do not have access to firearms. So he's put red flag laws in terms of firearms for those who are like a risk to the public. So I think that's a step in progress.
Yeah, and also this goes back to my earlier comment about Trump has balls. You know,
he does
because here he's actually really what he's doing is really standing up against his Republican supporters.
So the last statement that we're going to look over is how I think Donald Trump was like he wants to propose a legislation about how those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty automatically. So it must be delivered quickly instead of waiting forever for it, because I think normally they wait like quite a long time for it to get approved and stuff. I was trying to put that into place. What do you think about that?
I don't have any opinion on the death penalty.
Why?
Or capital punishment.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But then obviously you've got the arguments against it. Like, why does someone, or how does someone make the decision to pull the switch on a guy? You know,
how?
What gives them the right to do that?
And then in arguing with your point that you've made, because they would be like, because you've just killed 50 odd people for no innocent people, therefore you are getting the death penalty. You killed 50 people, but you're going to take your life.
What happens if that person, you know, who did kill all those people? Yeah, fair enough. This is an objective thing. Obviously, that's the wrong thing to do. But then what happens if they had like a mental illness? You know, this is where the mental illness aspect comes into it.
But you've killed people.
Yeah, I know, right? But what happens if they're at some sort of disadvantage? Why does someone else have the right to make that decision for you? You're okay with people being killed, right? If you're okay with death penalty, okay, I lived in Saudi Arabia for 8 years, and over there they do public executions, beheadings, right? What's the difference between a public execution, okay, right, and a death penalty? What's the difference there? There is actually no difference. But if I was to ask you, oh shit, they kill people like in public, they behead people in public in Saudi, you know, you're always gonna grimace at that.
Why? For what? Like,
oh well, much.
For them doing what?
Well, much more tedious crimes.
Such as?
Like probably stealing a loaf of bread. I don't know.
Stealing a loaf of bread, they'll get beheaded.
No, they get the hand cut off for that.
Hand cut off.
Yeah, for stealing. In Saudi. When I say to people, oh yeah, they do public executions in Saudi, they're always like, oh my god. But if I was to say to someone, oh yeah, they still allow the death penalty in America, they're kind of trying to turn a blind eye to that. How come it's exactly the same thing?
True.
The government are allowing the killing of people. Like, murder is murder, isn't it?
So how do you feel someone should be punished for a mass murder?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, then capital punishment right now is the answer then.
Yeah. Some people might view that differently.
Yeah, true.
Some people might be way more religious than I am. Might think, oh, you know, it's up to God, you know? It's up to God. It's the judgment of God. It's not up to the judgment of the people. You know? There's some people have their trust in faith. And now moving on to BJ, Boris Johnson. Yeah. And we're going to say, well, we're asking the question today, will he make a good Prime Minister, right? And what's he going to do about the whole Brexit situation? Because that's very cloudy, that's very foggy at the moment, we don't know what's going on.
I think he said that he wanted Brexit out by Halloween, so that's going to be finished by Halloween. Lol, on Halloween.
Right. You know,
gosh, what a disaster.
Yeah, I hate talking about Brexit. Jeez. I hate talking about it.
Unfortunately, that's our national news. That's the national news of this country.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Brexit,
what a
Boris
terrible
Johnson.
time to be alive. It's true though. It's true. I mean, fucking hell, we've got Drake, who's got more top 10s than the fucking Beatles, and he's bragging about it by making a, really shitty tattoo on his arm.
Did he? What tattoo did he get?
Yeah. He got a tattoo of him, I think, flicking off the fucking Beatles on Abbey Road. Like, how much of a dick is that? This is such a shit time to be alive. such a shit time, you know.
Ben's trying to correlate with the 60s, 80s vibe, as you can tell.
The 60s, 80s? What? This is not 60s, 80s. This is Gareth Bale. This is professional footballer. Obviously, all those gals will comment because I know what you think. You know,
girls and guys.
I'll put my Snapchat. I'll put my Snapchat in the video description for you.
Yeah, and his Instagram handle. Do feel free to slide in the DMs. He's more than happy to reply.
Yeah. Also, if you got any long hair tips, then
on how to maintain.
Shoot them my way.
Show them the side.
Huh?
On how to maintain this hair. He's wearing a what's this called again?
I don't know, headbands. I've got to wear headbands. I can't style it anymore. There's a big stigma against it though. You know, like guys shouldn't wear headbands.
Why though? Is it because it's quite feminine?
I think so. But is that the thing that guys shouldn't have long hair? There's a stigma against that as well.
I think Harry Styles kind of got rid of the stigma.
Yeah, probably.
So what do you think of him being our new Prime Minister? Are you a fan? He's a Conservative.
Yeah.
He was voted by his, what's it called? Colleagues? Yeah, voted by his colleagues, not by the public. Interesting one, because I don't think...
I think, honestly, the alternative of Corbyn being Prime Minister, I don't think...
I love Jeremy Corbyn. Labour.
Sorry? You want Corbyn as Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Right.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. No, I'm not. Should I take my shirt off? No. I don't know. So let's go back to Boris Johnson and Brexit. For all you really sore losers out there, Brexit won the debate, obviously. 52 is bigger than 48.
If we won the debate, we would have left in fucking April. But we were in Halloween.
But the thing is if you were to go to a shop, okay, and you bought a packet of Haribos, and found out that there was 52 Haribos in there, and she went to the shop and she bought a packet of Haribos and she only got 48. I think she'd be a bit sour about the fact that I've got 4 more fucking Haribos than her. So the thing is that 52 is bigger than 48.
Is, right, we have been thinking so many times, let's go back on Brexit, the government.
Yeah.
What unstable, unreliable government we have, Conservative. If Jeremy Corbyn was involved?
It's not just the Conservatives, it's the entire Parliament.
Right.
No, the beliefs of their constituents and what they want to do. They have to represent in the UK voted for Brexit rather than against, and so obviously they.
This is how I feel about Brexit. And this one talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Brexit is very, very tedious. It's very dull now.
It's obviously. So dull.
It's been
3 years.
It's been far too long.
3 years, 2 years, something like that. So how do you feel about him being our new Prime Minister? That's the question.
Well, I like Boris Johnson. He's a little bit too intellectual. He's a little bit academic for my liking, and he's a bit of a loose cannon. I think that's the best way to describe him. But I think I think
Jeremy Corbyn would have made a wonderful Prime Minister.
I think Jeremy Corbyn would definitely plunge this country into like the third world. But let's just put that to the side because we don't want to be talking about shit. We don't want to be talking about nonsense. Corbyn in power. What a bunch of bollocks.
Either way, we should be out by Halloween, so everybody be celebrating on Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, fancy dress ideas for Halloween. You could dress up as like
Boris Johnson. Or Corbyn. That's fucking scary. Yeah.
Theresa May. You could dress up as Theresa May.
Yeah. Don't like Theresa May. Or you could dress up as someone sexy. What?
Who?
Me?
So finally, moving on to the entertainment news, is about ASAP Rocky.
Who?
And
Who?
ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky.
Okay.
Do you want me to play
As
some
soon
of
as
his music?
possible. As I'll leave, I'll jump out that fucking window and I'll sprint back home.
What about your bike?
Okay, yeah, fine.
ASAP Rocky, for those that don't know, like Ben, is a rapper. A very talented rapper. And he was videoed by, I think, like, passers-by, him fighting in Sweden. This wasn't good because then he was arrested and he was in like Swedish jail for like I think a couple weeks, maybe a month, which then he missed his European world tour, like going to festivals and stuff like that. Like he missed Wireless and he was meant to be there, but he wasn't. He then was released, and that we found out that he's given a 2-year suspended sentence, and what they mean by that was that in those 2 years he cannot commit any crime. If he does, he'll be automatically like sent to prison, I think, right?
Okay.
He has to give compensation to the victims. Sorry. So this video was recorded by someone of him like physically fighting with a guy like to the ground. This guy was following them around, like him and his security guards, and kept pestering them and bothering them, hence why they had the fight. So yeah, he's now got a 2-year suspended sentence. What do you think about that? Right or wrong? Do rappers need to...
Absolutely right. Just because he's a rapper doesn't make him better than anyone else. If you do something bad, you have repercussions. You have to pay the consequences. Everyone is the same, regardless.
I do agree. I feel like he shouldn't have done that. I understand that his security guards and stuff, like, they just couldn't get these guys away from them. But like, you got to think of your reputation. The debate is, do rappers kind of need to think more about their reputation now instead of thinking just in the moment what he did?
Fucking idiot, then, isn't he? Simple as that. Like, he is an adult.
You're a 30-year-old man.
You've got to act sensible. And
you can't
also,
go to another country.
Also, the thing about
another country and doing things like that. You don't know their rules and regulations and their laws. Like, you can't be doing that. If you're in your own country, you know whatever.
The thing is, I was going to say a valid point. When you're in the spotlight, if you are someone famous, I don't know who the fuck A$AP Rocky is, but supposedly he's famous. But if you are famous... you're going to have role models, you're going to have people that look up to you. You've got to set a certain standards of behaviour. Or, you're role models, people. People look up to you and you have to act a certain way. You know? You're not going to get away with things just because you're famous.
His fans support and idolise the way he is. They're not supporting because he's perfect. They're supporting because you are who you are. Like, if they wanted perfect, they would have, I don't know, gone for someone who makes no mistakes and is absolutely flawless, and that's wrong because no one's fucking perfect. A$AP Rocky has fans that know what he's like, that support his kind of way of life, and being a role model. And I don't think you have to be perfect in order to be a role model. As long as you're a good, kind person, that's all that kind of matters, to be honest. Yeah, what do we think? Do rappers need to think of their rep? Yes or no?
Everyone needs to think about their actions and how it affects others.
Yes, I agree. We agree with that.
Yeah.
So, on that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed our first show.
Why's my collar up? Oh shit.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We had a good time. Yeah?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my fans.
Dog? Your dog?
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without you. When's lunch?
So then...
Do you have any chocolate now? No, but do you have any sort of drink that's chocolatey or brown?